So for this presentation, we wanted to talk about self-driving cars and their relationship with information systems. Self-driving cars premiered at the 1939 World Fair, where they operated on a system of magical rails. The chief engineer of General Motors came out and exclaimed to the crowd, "Our grandchildren will be able to snap across the continent in 24 hours." Now, 80 years later, self-driving cars still aren't a reality. But there are a lot of companies out there like Tesla and Google who are trying to make those scientific fantasies that we have a reality. Elon Musk has even been quoted as saying, "Self-driving cars are the natural extension of active safety and obviously something we should do." So first, let's look at how self-driving cars work. They use LiDAR sensors, normal radar, GPS, and cameras to all get a vision of the world around them. And then they use normal programming and what's called machine learning to then process that data into something they can use. Now, machine learning is basically programming a computer to program itself. And so this is so that the engineers don't have to think about every possible situation that the car could find itself in. Now, this poses a lot of ethical questions because sometimes an accident is unavoidable. So while self-driving cars are oftentimes the safer option, what happens when an accident is unavoidable and who is liable? Is it the programmer who programmed the car to do that? Is it the car owner who let the mistake happen? Or is it the car itself, now that we're talking about computers being able to teach themselves? A lot of people are saying this is a modern day trolley problem. The trolley problem is if a trolley was coming down the train tracks and had to hit either 5 people or 1 person, would you pull the lever so that it would hit the 1 person instead of 5 people? So it poses a lot of utilitarian questions. And it kind of relates to the car because what would a car do? Who would a car choose to save? Can we teach human ethics in automobiles? And is that risk worth all of the safety and convenience that they come with?
Hi everyone, this is Carly here to talk about the pros and cons that are associated with self-driving cars. We'll start with some of the positives. One of these is it would increase the mobility of people who would be able to drive independently, whether that be people who are too young to drive because they don't have a driver's license, people who are too old to drive anymore, or anybody that has a disability that has prevented them from driving in the past. Another thing is that it would increase safety by eliminating human error due to distractions or recklessness in emotions, and self-driving cars cannot be under the influence of any substances. And then lastly, there would be fewer cars needed on the road since there would no longer need to be people to transport other people. They would just have cars, which would reduce the overall number of cars on the road. On to the negative things. A problem associated with self-driving cars is that they would be heavily reliant on GPS systems, which are typically very accurate, but they do have their issues, especially in rural areas on roads that may or may not be paved or mapped correctly. Next, there would be a liability issue when it comes to any accidents or injury or damage that occurs with a self-driving vehicle. There's no way to know how to place the blame, which would lead to legal issues when there are damages or injuries that go without compensation. And then lastly, though self-driving cars are not subject to human error, there are still errors that could occur with the machine, whether it glitches, and then machine learning is a very complex process that leaves a lot of room for error.
Hi, I'm Kevin Richardson, and I am going to be talking about our expert interview as well as the relationship between IS and our topic that we are discussing. So with our expert interview, we spoke with John Mason. He's a development manager at Tesla. And the first question we proposed to him was, how advanced are the vehicles? John said that the vehicles are becoming very advanced, that they are continuously updating the sensors, radar, and different cameras that the vehicle has, and that within the next 3 years, Tesla believes that autonomous vehicles will be safer than to operate or to drive than a human operator. With this, the next question that came was, if there is a crash, whom does the car save, the driver or the pedestrian? John said that it really doesn't save either, that it's no one wins in this situation. Some of the things the car does to help protect it are the various sensors and radars are continuously tracking things that are too close to the vehicle that could cause harm to the vehicle or surroundings. And that if it does have this, it has an automatic emergency brake that is applied when it senses things like that. The next question proposed was, what is the future for autonomous vehicles? John said that the Tesla is continuously producing more and more vehicles that are being sent out, with each one gathering more and more data. And with this, they're making large advancements because the data is being transferred directly from the car through the cloud to the company, which it then can transfer back to send updates, different things, whether it be on road conditions, on a hazard, or on a programming error that the vehicle has. So in the relationship between IS and autonomous vehicle, Tesla's goal for the future, or one of their goals that John said, is to be able to pay for the car by having being a mode of transportation for others and driving them around like an Uber. And when John mentioned this, we believe it really gives them a competitive advantage, first by creating a new way to pay for the car by them being able to rent their car out when they're not using it, as well as creating a new transportation system that it enhances this because they're continuously trying to advance their use of the cloud and further their use, that people are receiving updates about their car through their smartphone, and also being able to do other features such as summoning their car by using the key instead of having to pull in or out of a parking spot. And another thing, they're differentiating themselves from conventional automobile makers by continuously supporting and updating and increasing vehicle ability and safety. With this, the cloud is enabling them to update the vehicle surroundings, and also look for errors that they might need to fix. And it's overall increasing the safety and increasing the things that the vehicle is able to do. And with this Tesla, we feel that it strongly relates to information systems, because all of this, through their use of the cloud, their different sensors, and the programming that they're doing, they are really having a competitive advantage over conventional automobile makers and looking forward to the future.
In order for self-driving cars to become a reality, there are a few adjustments that need to be made. In order for them to take place, auto manufacturers and the people need to come to a conclusion on who to blame when a self-driving car hits someone in an accident. They also need to keep working on the design to improve them and get new people to adapt to the ways that self-driving cars operate. Self-driving cars are the future. We believe that they improve safety for everyone around them and take the burden off the driver. It'll take a lot more advancements in technology before they become a reality, but we believe that they will become a norm in the near future. In conclusion, much more research needs to be made on self-driven cars, but we believe that they are a reality and will happen. Civilization isn't that far off from them taking over already. We would love to see self-driven cars take over in the near future and in our lifetime. Thank you so much for listening.